Hey everybody, it's Andy. An interesting conversation is currently taking place around the world regarding the use of a vaccine passport as a way to open up travel and economies again. And some places like airlines are already experimenting with it. Is it a good idea? Could it work? I mean, not logistically. Will the complexity of our human psychology prevent the success of a vaccine passport? So what is a vaccine passport or immunity passport? In short, it's proof that you've either tested negative for or been immunized against certain diseases. It can come in the form of a phone app or simply paper. It may be required for travel, entrance into the office. Good reason not to have a vaccine passport, am I right? Or frequenting restaurants, movie theaters, and the list goes on. It's kind of a new spin on an old idea. For decades, some countries have required travelers to provide proof of vaccination against other diseases such as yellow fever. Those in favor of using some form of a vaccine passport will say the following. Countries whose economies depend on tourism can be more open with less risk of infection. It's a way to open up the rest of the world while restrictions are still in place. It's a faster route towards economic recovery worldwide. And continuing to remove civil liberties of those who pose minimal to no threat of transmitting infection is unjustified. If vaccine passports aren't issued, people in general may become less compliant with following restrictions. Now, among those with big concerns regarding vaccine passports is the World Health Organization indicating critical unknowns and preferential treatment towards travelers and creating vaccine shortages everywhere. Requiring immunity passports opens up the market for forgeries and selling fake COVID test results. Or there's data privacy concerns or government overreach. And probably the most intriguing one, permitting immune individuals with more freedoms than those not immunized creates inherent problems. Would this concern of inequity really cause problems? This is called the in-group, out-group phenomenon in psychology, and you and I experience it everywhere. It's our tendency to identify with groups based on age, sex, race, religion, hobbies, sports, and the list goes on. And developing feelings of resentment or hostility or irritation with opposing groups. And it can happen as quickly within a single school day. Don't believe me? Check this out. In 1968, in response to Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination, Jane Elliott, a third grade teacher, organized an eye-opening activity for her class forever referred to as the Blue Eyes, Brown Eyes experiment. It was an unforgettable exercise designed to help her predominantly white third grade class understand how it felt to be a black boy or girl. In this exercise, the class was split into a brown-eyed group and a blue-eyed group. All the privileges, praise, and class position was given to the brown-eyed group, but the blue-eyed group was told how shifty, dumb, and lazy they were. Eventually, in the course of a day, the members of the brown-eyed group even started to believe that they were superior to the blue-eyed group. You can imagine how the blue-eyed students felt. On another day, the roles were reversed. The children's experiences, both positive and negative, were recorded at the end of the experiment. And this small exercise in 1968 has been researched countless times since then, and it shows how easily we can start to identify with one group. If you haven't caught yourself with feelings of irritation, disgust, resentment, even hate towards people of another group, you are a much better person than I am and most of the rest of the world. It's why sports fans of one team can actually start to hate the fans of another, or proponents of another religion can start to feel indignation towards another religious group. Insert reference of any religious war here. Or why we feel differently, even hate people with different skin color than our own who come from a different culture. We tend to distance ourselves from the things that are different from us. It's a difficult thing to overcome, but it is possible. So would this in-group bias and the other problems prevent vaccine passports from being an effective means of reopening the world? Could human beings actually make this vaccine passport work? If we were robots, yes, but we are more complex than this. One of the most interesting concerns of implementing immunity passports has to do with our human nature. It will probably depend on how it's handled. Are there allowances for those who don't get vaccinated? Or for those who have not yet had the opportunity to be vaccinated? Are there options for people who refuse to obtain an immunity passport? What about for those who have yet to receive a vaccine? Is there a way to guarantee privacy? In the United States, companies like IBM, Microsoft, Salesforce, and Oracle are already exploring implementation of vaccine passport, not to mention the countless other worldwide organizations. The EU plans to implement vaccine passports before this summer. As COVID-19 vaccinations roll out worldwide, we'll probably start to hear more and more conversations about the vaccine passport. So, I guess we'll just have to wait and see how things pan out. That's all I have for you today. I thought that was pretty interesting stuff. Have a great day and thanks for watching.